And in a twist of fate for these three prominent activists jailed by the very law they were rallying against, for some perspective on this, I am now joined by Graeme Bannerman, and he is a scholar at the Middle East Institute and founder of the Bannerman Associates international consulting firm. So thank you so much for joining us on our broadcast today. Are you somewhat surprised by the tough sentence they were given?
I think that's the issue. It's not the question that they were guilty or not. I think probably they were challenging the law, which is a good way to do if you don't believe the law. But I think the maximum sentence they were given was a surprise to most people.
All right. Tell me, what kind of message does this send to the other pro-democracy activists out there?
Well, I think it's a clear signal in Egypt that the majority of Egyptians are tired of 3 years of disorder and chaos, and they're willing to give up some of their own civil liberties to move back towards a more stable situation.
But it is somewhat ironic, wouldn't you say? I mean, these are the very men that helped organize protests, that helped organize a movement to usher in this government, and now they're turning their back somewhat on them with a tough sentence.
It was a very tough sentence, and I think the reason they did that, we're only speculating here, is because if they gave a light sentence, that would encourage more people to go protest against the law. I think what they did here was they gave a hard sentence, but I would doubt that they will serve this sentence fully.
And why do you say that?
Because there's an appeals process, and people will look at it, and by the time you get to next summer, and you've had the referendum on the Constitution and the election of a parliament and a president, this won't be an issue anymore. They will be moving forward.
So would you say the international community looks favorably on the stand the government took because things have gotten out of hand in Egypt?
Oh, no. I think the situation in the international community is going to be very difficult for the Egyptian government. I think the criticism is going to be extensive throughout the world because they will see it as a step back from democracy, which it is. It is a step back from that direction.
Mm-hmm. And what has the reaction been amongst the think tanks?
Well, it's too early to have a reaction. It happened this afternoon. People here in Washington are generally critical of the interim government and generally have favored these people. Several of these people have been in Washington many times. They have many friends in the think tank community. So one would anticipate sharp criticism of this decision by the American think tank community.
What would you say that the average Egyptian is thinking now? Because they are so passionate about their issues, and the fact that this has come down. Do you think this will even deter them in the future at all from protesting?
I think that, you certainly will have those who will be deterred from protesting, but I think the majority of Egyptians are tired of protesters. And the protesters themselves tend to discredit themselves with the majority of the population by continuing the chaos, because most people are concerned with the lack of economic growth, which is blamed on the people who continue the chaos. They want to move forward. They want stability. This is a big change from 3 years ago when everybody was united in wanting to replace President Mubarak.
All righty. Graeme Bannerman, thank you so much for joining us in our
My
CCTV
pleasure.
studios today.